Why it is important not to think or speak badly about anyone. It has long been observed that we begin to acquire the qualities of the people we think and speak about. That is why it is recommended to focus our thoughts and words on successful and harmonious individuals. However, the more ego and envy we harbor, the harder it becomes to speak well of others. We must learn not to criticize anyone. In fact, according to the Vedas, when someone criticizes us, they give us their positive karma and take away our negative karma. That's why being criticized was traditionally considered a blessing. How does speech affect our karma? The Mahabharata teaches that if you have planned something or wish to accomplish a task, you should not speak about it. The moment you say it out loud, especially to an envious or greedy person, the likelihood of it coming true drops by 80%. Why do those who speak less and more thoughtfully often achieve more? Because they preserve their energy. Another important principle: if you do something good for someone but then boast about it, you lose the positive karma and all the merit that came from the deed. Braggarts achieve little. Therefore, never brag about your achievements. The moment you do, the fruits of your actions begin to vanish. Thoughts shape speech. That's why it is vital not to think badly about anyone. The more chaotic our thoughts, the more they surface in our speech, and the more disordered our communication becomes. Clear thinking leads to clear speech. There is another level of awareness: learning to accept criticism. One quality of the mind is its ability to justify itself in any situation. The lower a person's level of development, the more excuses they make. Even after committing a serious wrong, such individuals may shamelessly justify themselves. Conversely, one of the key indicators of a highly developed person is the ability to calmly listen to criticism. Rules of reasonable speech. Rule 1. Before saying something harsh, count to 10. At first, this may feel silly. You might only manage to count to 3. But even a brief pause can make your response more thoughtful. The initial impulse when we're criticized is usually to defend ourselves and respond harshly. Learn to pause for 5 to 10 seconds before replying. This will reduce emotional intensity and help preserve harmony. Those who pursue self-realization tend to speak less and more deliberately. Biographies of great individuals often note that they never responded to accusations immediately and rarely spoke when angry. They would postpone difficult conversations until emotions had cooled. They understood that speech influenced by anger and irritation could have painful and destructive consequences. Rule 2. Avoid extremes. God is present in the small details, while extremes are often the realm of illusion and imbalance. Don't make grand promises like, "I'll be silent like a fish forever." Especially if you're naturally expressive, that kind of self-repression may cause harm. Instead, if you are someone who needs to talk, do so in a way that benefits both you and those around you. Be open and friendly, and most importantly, live consciously. Remember, our spiritual level is often revealed in small, everyday moments: how we react to rudeness at the store, what we feel when we're unjustly criticized, and so on. A weekly self-test. At the end of each week, ask yourself, what kind of speech dominated my week? If it was in goodness, you'll notice greater peace and happiness. If it was in passion or ignorance, the result may be illness, anxiety, or inner turmoil. An important principle: let go of complaints. Gratitude is the first step toward love. Few people express genuine thanks, most express complaints, often unconsciously. If you're not expressing gratitude, you're likely expressing dissatisfaction or blame in some form. True service isn't just physical help, it's helping others grow in God consciousness, offering love, and bringing others closer to the divine. Anything done without love, no matter how noble it appears, brings misfortune. Spiritual teachers remind us, every moment we either move closer to God or away from Him. Every situation is a lesson, a divine opportunity for growth. We must learn to thank God for every circumstance. He always wishes us well. Resistance blocks our heart center. The most common complaints are against fate, others, and even ourselves. These complaints manifest not only in words, but in tone, thoughts, and overall attitude. The more tense and unbalanced we are, the harsher our lessons become. But when we accept a situation, we relax, and the challenge often resolves itself quickly. Ayurveda teaches, you cannot heal from a disease unless you accept it. The first step to healing is complete inner acceptance, seeing the illness as God's grace, and then acting externally to resolve it. Otherwise, most of your energy will be consumed by mental resistance. The body can handle any illness, and we can overcome any challenge. If we are given a test, it means we have the strength to pass it. God never gives more than we can handle. Instead of complaining, make it a habit to say thank you to everyone. Track how often you feel gratitude versus how often you complain. You may be surprised. Complaints come from the mind and false ego. They drain energy and close the heart. True humility is accepting every situation, not through passive suffering, but by seeing the higher purpose behind it. Many misunderstand humility. It's not about turning the other cheek in a theatrical way. It's about accepting the events of life as divine gifts. Try repeating to yourself, or aloud, the phrase, "For everything, God's love." People who practice this mantra often find that their faces soften, their bodies relax, and they become happier and healthier. Try it, it works. When the subconscious mind is attuned to divine will, it gently leads us toward perfection.